traveling time.
Hey, what's up, party people?
Oh,
How's everyone doing? Welcome.
Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Yeah, we got Linda's in the house already. I know we
Hello,
popped on about
Linda.
a minute late today. We were scrambling in the background. I messed up on one of the prompts, so we're only gonna have 9 prompts tonight, but I think it's all right.
Hmm.
Hopefully that's all right.
We'll be just fine.
All right. We'll give everybody a couple minutes
Hello,
to
Norma.
trickle in. What's up, Norma? Good to see you. How's things over on the Facebook end? I know we've been having more YouTubers these days, so I'm always curious how the experience is going over there. Tina's also on Facebook this evening. What's up, my peeps? Rachel Ann's in the house. Hello, hello. Good stuff. All right. If you hopefully you can hear the vibe and music in the background. I put together a nice little playlist of tropical inspired funky chill music for us so we could get in the spirit for this evening's session, which if you haven't checked out any of the promos for what we're doing tonight, we've got a lovely program for you this evening. Let me pull that up. It's called Travel Goals. So this is the Journal Party app for those who are uninitiated. Are there any uninitiated folks in this group? You know what? I don't even know if I sent out the email today. We've been so scatterbrained trying to get these new programs off the ground, but hopefully everyone got the word out. All right, I see we got Gabby's in the house. Good. Well, even if we've just got the usuals here, then I'm happy. But yeah, tonight's program is it's. I wanted to do something that was just a little bit more like imaginative and lately I've been just kind of stressed out here at home with just life happening, responsibilities and the state of the world. And, sometimes you just need an escape. And, look, Alex and I would love to hop on a plane and go right back to Bora Bora right now, but unfortunately, that's not in the cards. But that doesn't mean that we can't start planning, doing a little bit of dreaming while we wait for our circumstances to allow us to actually get jet setting again. Gabby's saying she couldn't pull it up on Facebook, so hopefully that's not too much of an issue for folks. But yeah, we always do it on YouTube as well, and actually we're trying to do it a little more focusing on YouTube these days because they're being nice to us. They're rewarding us for making content, and obviously we love to do that. So if we can get rewarded, hey, pretty good. All right, hopefully our music keeps going. There we go. All right, so yeah, I mean, that was a pretty basic spiel I gave everybody about our program for this evening, but it's pretty simple. Not all of our programs have to be, super deep and super heady. I think I'm really looking forward to this one just to kind of put myself in the headspace of, relaxation and exploration. That's why I like to travel. Some people like to travel to crazy places where things are going nuts. Actually, a guy I used to work with, that was like his hobby. His idea of fun was looking up where like crazy stuff happened in the world, like most recently, because then the flights in there are a lot cheaper. And yeah, he was not afraid of that at all. And I mean, he's got some great stories because of it. But yeah, just going into places in turmoil, not to like, kick it back, but like, I think he was, really just wanted to see the world as it is and kind of the reality of it. I'm more of an escapist when it comes to travel. I want to go, and I don't mind seeing the touristy versions of things and whatnot. Then again, I guess it is
the
fun
touristy versions.
It is also fun to see like the culture and stuff. Like one of the things I'm really looking forward to doing with Alex is just going to Thailand, because I think that we can get both the relaxation fix as well as get that like real travel experience as I see it on our favorite travel shows and stuff. All right, we got some more people showing up. Nice. We got Dee's in the house. Hello. Kristen's here once again.
Hi,
Small.
Kristen.
down from Oregon. Awesome. Yeah, we love Oregon. That was actually one of our recent travel adventures. We went and we spent about a month in Depot Bay, just looking at whales and stuff. It was a pretty good time, and obviously we had some excursions and whatnot. But, yeah, whether your aspirations are to go far and wide, or even just to do a staycation, or even like the ultimate staycation, just kind of your imagination can be a way to travel as well. So obviously we all come from different sets of circumstances, and hopefully circumstances permit you to be adventurous, but we don't ever want to make the assumption that you gotta even get on a plane or do something lavish or luxury related. I think that travel comes in a lot of different forms, and so whatever your goals are, we're gonna kind of tap into those this evening, spend a little time dreaming, imagining, and then we can all hang out and share some stories and stuff like that at the end. So I think it's about time to get this party started. Alex, you said that you were going to do the evens this evening?
I was going, yes. So
okay, cool.
I will take care of the evens. So you start us off.
Love it. Awesome. All right. Let me clear the screen here for us, and for I think everyone here has probably done this before with us, but it's pretty simple. Alex and I will read the prompts, we'll journal along with you, and then at the very end we'll all hang out and catch up. All right, cool. So let's get this party started. If I can find the button, there we go. All right, here we go. Prompt number 1: dream destinations. Write about the one place you've always dreamed of visiting. What draws you to this destination, and what would it feel like to finally be there?
Travel memories. Think about your favorite travel experience. What made it special? How did that trip change you or teach you something new?
Travel motivations. What drives your desire to travel? Is it adventure, relaxation, cultural exploration, or something else entirely?
Travel barriers. What's currently holding you back from taking that trip you've been wanting to take? How might you overcome these obstacles?
Travel style. Describe your ideal travel style. Are you a luxury traveler, backpacker, cultural explorer, or adventure seeker? How does this influence your destination choices?
Travel companions. Who would you most want to travel with and why? How do you envision sharing these experiences with the people you care about?
All right. Hopefully, we are unfrozen. I saw your note, Linda. This next one is cultural curiosity. What cultures or ways of life are you most curious about? How might traveling help you understand the world differently?
Travel timeline. If you could take 3 trips in the next 5 years, what would they be? What would need to happen for you to make these trips a reality?
Travel legacy. How do you want to travel? How do you want travel to shape your life story? What kind of traveler do you want to become, and what experiences do you want to collect? All right, all right. How'd everyone do? Let us know in the comments. Alex, how'd you do?
I did pretty good. Now, my dream destination has been for many years to go to the Mediterranean coast, specifically Italy and Greece. And I know that's something we discussed as maybe a honeymoon 2.0, which would be incredible. I've been to Italy a few times, and it's my favorite place on earth, but I have yet to go to the coast, and that seems like a very beautiful and romantic place to go with my partner. So yeah, I'd love that. And I think for many of us, probably the biggest deterrent when it comes to travel is the cost.
Yes.
I yes. And you and I have started the journey of finding credit cards that give us bonus points, and so I think that could be very helpful in the future. And I would love to learn how to travel that way. I know you're starting to look into it too, but acquire as many points as possible, and maybe planning far ahead of our excursion so we can really save money. So there's lots of ways to do it, but I would love to absolutely do more traveling with you, because we have yet to really we did London while you were working there briefly, but just a vacation, just the two of us doing whatever we would want, would be amazing. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, definitely the one where it's like, what was your favorite travel experience? My favorite travel experience is now our most recent one, which was our honeymoon. I mean, obviously, it was a dream. That whole trip was amazing, and but yeah, I think it was so nice to be able to um, just to have that time, just you and me, and I'm really looking forward to some more adventures that are I mean, maybe a little more adventurous. We were just kind of kicking back and relaxing,
Mm.
but to actually go and explore and have some adventures with you, I think will be really, really exciting for me. I'm curious what your 3 trips in the next 5 years were, and if they aligned with mine.
Well, this is very optimistic, but I did want to do the Greece and Italy trip that we've been talking about. And then I went into our East Asia trip that we've talked about as well. So doing, Vietnam, Laos, Thailand, and I did not come up with a third one. So let's see what your trips are.
So I also put Italy and Greece. I think we definitely got to do that one maybe next. I also
Mm,
put Switzerland on because we
yes.
don't talk about it ever, but Alex and I, we share, we constantly are sending each other on Instagram just these reels of what I guess is Switzerland. It's beautiful and looks amazing, and it's like, what is this fairy tale land, and how do we get there? I selfishly want to have all the chocolate and all the cheese and stuff. I don't know what you're gonna do about that, Alex, but I mean, either way, I think we could probably do something like that. So I put Italy and Greece, Switzerland, and also Thailand, and I have some more like adventurous and more ambitious travel adventures, but I feel like if we got those knocked out in like the first 5 years of our marriage, like we would be pretty much on a roll. And those are I feel like they're common trips, right? Like they would be good to kind of cut our teeth a little bit, and then from there, we could really, get a little bit more adventurous. And on that note, I was just thinking about, I loved the travel companions one. I mean, because as much as, well, obviously, I want to travel the world with you, and you were the first person I thought of with that. But just in the time that I had with the prompt, started to think about like, well, who else would I like to travel with? And we have I really want to I would really love to travel with our friends B Love and Jenny. Those are you guys don't know who they are at home, but they're close friends of ours. But I feel like they're really good at traveling together as a couple, and I don't think
Mm.
we're bad, but I feel like we could learn from people who like really know what they're doing with it. And then like I kind of want to like steal some of their little travel hacks and stuff like that, and kind of pull it into our experience a little bit. And then, of course, our friend Sulak. So I wish I had his YouTube channel. I could drop you guys a link. But he, when he travels, he makes videos, and he's just an exceptionally talented travel filmmaker. And he's about to go on even more adventures in that light. But whenever he comes back from one of these things, like he can't resist. Even before he's done editing his video, he'll send me the footage, and it's just like, how do you get yourself into these situations? They're not bad situations, but it's like, for example, I think he recently went to uh, was it Dubai? It was one of these countries in the Middle East, and I think I would be prone to like trying to be respectful and just like have a good travel experience and navigate through, but like somehow he's striking up conversations with everybody and going deep to the point where they're like inviting him back to places. They made him like the whole garb, the whole I think it's called a phobo. I don't, forgive me if you know what it is, let me know. But they made him the whole outfit and everything, and then took him like dune bugging. Like the guy just he has a knack for like making real authentic connections with people when he travels, and I just think that's super cool. So that was one of the things that I was kind of touching upon here. Is like, yeah, I love the luxury travel and I love the adventure and the novelty of it all, but like I think that's also like a really cool skill that some people have, where they're actually able to cut through all the differences that we have as human beings. And obviously, different places in the world, different cultures, like there's gonna be a lot of differences, but he's exceptional at finding that human thread, that current that's just
A thousand
underneath that we
percent.
all
Yeah.
have in common. And I think that's like that's some real good stuff there. I don't really know how to articulate the value of it, except to say that I think the world needs more of that. I mean, like obviously there's been a weird trend towards like isolationism here in the U.S., which you may have different feelings about, but I think I don't think anyone would disagree that we ought to strive to understand our fellow man. And I think travel is such a cool way to do that. And actually, my apologies, folks, if we are currently like glitching out or freezing or anything like that. I'm noticing that my connection seems to be unstable, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because I'm plugged in.
It's back now. Yeah, it was gone, but we could hear you totally
Okay.
fine.
All
Yeah.
right. Cool. All
But
right.
you're right about, your friend Ryan, and he's just got the perfect personality for that. He's not afraid to make these connections, and it just leads to these incredible experiences. And I just wanted to add one more thing. My mom, well, my parents were married for 40 years. My dad did not travel, and he was afraid of flying. And so my
Oh, that's
mom,
right.
my mom's a total travel bug, and she, not until my dad passed away did she start traveling the world, and she's in her mid 70s now. She's in great shape, and she spends so many months out of the year traveling and going on these epic adventures. And I would love more than anything to travel with my mom, go abroad, and because who she's become, especially after traveling for so long, like that is her most authentic self, and it's such a beautiful thing. So
I feel like
I
she
do
does it right too. Like every time, she comes back, like it's like, you did what? And she's like, yeah, she seems to be living the good life out on her adventures. So yeah, you should definitely go and have a little
absolutely
mother-daughter experience there for sure. Just
we
checking
got
out
some
the chat
great
a little
conversation
bit.
happening. So let's, yeah.
Gabby says, I traveled all over California and Northern California. I'm definitely ready for that happiness traveling again. I've been to every place in California. In California, I mean,
Wow.
I know there's a lot of mixed feelings in this country about California, but one thing you can't deny is that it is a cool place when you consider how many options there are for travel. Like, I don't know of very many places where, you can drive like an hour or two in any direction and be in a completely different climate, like from mountains to the beach to the desert to the forest. It's like, what is that song, the Redwood Forest? This land was made for you and me. I think they made that song about
Yeah.
California. No, it's about all the other places too, but California
Is amazing because, even we were in Joshua Tree last week, and we don't even consider that like a big vacation because it's just a couple hours away, but it's really incredible that we can be in the middle of a beautiful, desert like that in a matter of, a couple of hours. Like, that's incredible. So yes,
yeah,
that's so cool.
Well, we've been pretty good about that too, taking advantage of California and living here. We do a lot of staycation-y type of stuff. I'm eager to do more international now that we're married and we have those ambitions. And once life permits, we've got a lot of things we've got to deal with and just setting up our life. And that's another one of those things, right? In addition to financial challenges and time challenges, timing is just it's tough sometimes. And we were ready to go and start a tour of California and the West Coast to see where we might want to live, but also kind of turn that into a travel adventure. But lo and behold, we've got some house responsibilities we've got to deal with and other things. And so it's that's life. But I think it is cool to kind of set your intentions on going out and exploring, and hopefully doing so when everything permits. And Mary's saying, yeah, biggest barrier is the cost, problem solving. Yeah. So, that's a challenge for us too. And Alex mentioned, we've been looking into like the travel hacking and stuff like that. I've been geeking out on the credit card stuff because, as you guys know, I run a lot of ads and stuff to get more people into Journal Party. And even when they're not like the most profitable things, the cool thing is those points actually add up quite a bit. And so for a little while, we were stacking up quite a bit of points, even though we were giving away free journals and not really making a ton of money on that. The points were pretty good. And so we have Alex, we do have a nice little I don't want to call it a nest egg, but we got a nice little stack of points. So hopefully we can, once time permits, we'll get out there. Rachel is saying, I don't really have specific locations in mind, but like intentions for travel. Yeah.
Good
so
for
I mean,
you.
it's good to have that intention, and then I think it's always good to just like kind of visualize and go that extra step further, and then these things start to materialize. Like the more real it is in your mind, like the more real it is going to become in your reality if you want it to be. So yeah, well, I'm curious to see where those intentions lead you.
Absolutely.
Gabby says, I take an Amtrak all over California, and I'm ready to do that again, but with my mom or my best friend who is my caregiver. It's funny you say that because, Gabby, I've been like geeking out on these YouTubers who love trains and travel all the Amtrak trains. And Alex, I've got a few of these. I'm probably gonna show them to you and ask if we can go on some fun train adventures. I hope you're down. You like trains, right?
Yeah, well, so again, my father, when he would not travel, he wouldn't fly. We would go cross country in trains, and it would take a long time. But Gabby, I know all about Amtrak trains. I've done the California coast a little bit, but I definitely, cross country. I've gone on many adventures, and we've gotten stuck in places. My train has caught fire, all sorts of interesting things. But thankfully, like the California one has always been perfect and no problems. But some of the cross country, I've had a couple of mishaps, but still
I had
great.
something crazy happen. I forgot about this, but you brought up when I was in London for work stuff, and so part of that was I had to take a train from London to Scotland, and it was started out fine, and then like things stop, and we're wondering why we're stopped, and we hear an announcement, and like we hit a guy. The train hit a guy while we were on it, and like they were just explaining the protocol for that. Apparently, it happens a lot, and there's not really much you can do about it. And they have like a little crime scene investigation, and then you're kind of on your way. But yeah, we were delayed for a little while and had to go through I think like Manchester or something when we so that was crazy. I'm like, yeah, I was in a vehicle that struck a human. That is insane. That is crazy.
Oh, I mean, I think you know this, but I was as well in Chicago. One of my last weeks there, it was just what I needed to be like, you know what, it's time for me to move on from Chicago. But yes, unfortunately, it does happen quite often. So yeah, it can be slightly traumatizing, but yeah, it's part of it. But train travel is just, it's so unique, it's so interesting, and it really is like a great time. And I do have the fondest memories. So that's super cool, Gabby. And definitely, consider getting back out there with your mom and your caregiver. That would be incredible.
So one of the things that I had written in here, at some point I gotta go to China. It's not like the first on my list by any means. Like, I definitely want to do the Europe stuff and all the ones that we mentioned, but I spent a lot of time learning how to speak Mandarin, and I've never been to China. I spent years studying Chinese culture, the language, all this stuff, so I know a lot about it. But I was just thinking, like, man, I really need to go and experience it to have the full context. That would actually be a cool opportunity, though, to do one of the trains like that, the Oriental Express or whatever it is. Like they have, there's supposedly some really amazing cross country trains there. So maybe we can look into something like that. But we'll see. We'll see if I can get you to go on that trip.
Maybe I'll send Sulak with you, because I think Sulak would be a great partner on an adventure like that. I think the two of you could get into all sorts of trouble.
Certainly the culinary adventures, right? He'll eat all the crazy street food with me. Nahal says, I would love to visit Niagara Falls, Vienna, and my birthplace, Berlin. Cool. I didn't know that about you.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Vienna would be amazing too. Have you ever done Niagara, Alex?
I haven't. And actually, I definitely want to check out Germany and Austria, because I have a lot of ancestry there. And actually, my last name's Gallner. There's a Gallner Mountain in Bavaria. There's a whole town and a mountain with my surname. So like, imagine
Well,
if we
my
went
last
there.
name's German too, so we could go find all of our relatives there. That would be fun.
Well, what if we went there and everyone was like weird looking, but like my weird looking? You know what I mean? Like everyone kind of looked a little bit like what would we do? Like, do you think they would recognize? Like, do you think if I walked into a bar in Gallner, in Gallner proper, like it was like, "Hi, I'm Alex Gallner," they'd be like, "Welcome, you're one of us," or they would be like, "I don't think there's many of us."
I don't
Again,
know. We would have to go and see for sure.
well, if I go to Gallner Mountain, I'm taking pictures, telling
Of
everyone.
course.
Gabby says, I want to go to Hawaii. Hawaii's awesome. South Carolina. Alex and I just went there. We went to Charleston, which was amazing. And possibly Oregon to see my best friend. Cool. Yeah, all those places are awesome places. Definitely check it out if you can, Gabby. What were some of the things that you liked in Charleston? I was surprised you liked Charleston as much as you did.
Yeah, I'm vegan and gluten free, and so I thought it would be a complete nightmare, to be honestly. But it was fantastic, and they have incredible vegetables. They do things to vegetables that I didn't even know were possible. So I was actually very satisfied, and it was definitely a culinary adventure for me. But
that,
all
and you
three
saw
of
your
those-
reality TV show, people. What's that show you watch?
Yes, Southern Charm. I don't know if there's any Bravo watching folks in the house, but I saw some Southern Charm cast members,
was so
which is
excited.
always
She was
exciting.
in the little booth in the restaurant. Like, I think that's her. I think that's her, and she's with someone else. Like, just
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, she's dating someone else now. Wait till nobody heard the news. Nobody cares. But to me, it was just momentarily exciting.
Mary says rob a bank. Is that what I would do on my trip? I miss in the context.
Yeah.
Kristen said, come to see your friend, me, about 3 hours from Sutherland. Awesome.
Oregon, nice.
Nahal says, my daughter just moved to London and loves it there. I loved it there. I was so sad when my adventure was cut short. I was actually there. I was gonna be there indefinitely, actually. And I remember I had this huge conversation with Alex, and she was on board to go back and forth, and we were gonna make it work. Like it was for work, and we had to do it, and it was gonna be an adventure. And they sent me out there at the end of 2019. And while I actually had like a scouting trip before I went out there, and I remember, just hearing murmurs of this strange new virus that was coming out. And yeah, unfortunately, a little while into my trip, the US government was like, COVID is real and you have to come home or you risk getting stuck there indefinitely. And I just remember,
and I have to say, I tried to get you to leave with me a week beforehand. You're like, no, this is going to be fine. It's going to be a 2-week thing. They've got great health care. I know, but I just knew. I was like, you got to get on this plane with me. But yes, I mean, aside from, the pandemic, London is amazing. It is so cool. I love everything about it.
I'm so glad I got to experience like a proper trip like that, though, like right before COVID changed the world. I mean, obviously things are kind of getting back to normal a little bit, but everything's different now. And so I am so grateful and glad that I got to experience that trip the way I did. At least, at least some of the before times, have a cool adventure before things got weird. Oh man, what a time. It's crazy. That was 5 years ago. Like, what? Fever dream. Anyway, got Gabby again saying, I'm trying to plan it with my mom and my best friend and her mother. Yeah, well, let us know.
That's great.
Definitely share with the group. Rachel Ann says, somewhere in Europe, New Orleans. Yes, New Orleans is another one we got to do, Alex. In a book retreat were my three. Nice. Yeah, we've been trying to plan a retreat over here for the longest time, and we things keep getting in the way, but we've got to do a proper journal party retreat as well. So definitely let us know in the comments like where you would want to go. I mean, we could do something stateside, we could do something international if people are down to do it, but obviously we would want to try to keep it affordable for everybody and whatnot, but I just think it would be so cool to do like a journaling retreat with some self-care. And obviously you guys are all really awesome people, and as we get to know each other here digitally, it would be so cool to hang out with you all in the flesh. So let us know if you guys are into that, and if you have any ideas, or if you know anybody who's planned something like that before. I mean, we'll do our best, but it would be nice to get plugged in with people who know what they're doing, so we can serve you properly.
And retreats in general are an incredible way to travel. Highly recommend it.
She said she was just in Oslo, Norway. Highly recommend.
Very cool.
I think I drove through Oslo. When I was 15, I did this really cool Euro trip. And yeah, Norway was one of my favorite places that I've ever been, for sure. The craziest thing was the time of year that I was there. Like, there was a part of the trip where the sun just doesn't set. You just see it kind of move across the skyline, and so like all the places had to have these crazy blackout curtains and stuff like that. And that was yeah, that was a little trippy, but the most beautiful countryside you've ever seen. And we were taking like little mini cruises through all the fjords and stuff. Really, really cool country, Norway, for sure. Sandy says, I've always wanted to visit Italy. Same. As a child, I had visions of having family in Italy and speaking Italian. Definitely on my bucket list. Yeah, for sure. And I forget what the prompt was, but it was something along the lines of like, what do you actually want to get out of this travel, or what do you think you would try to take with you? And I think I would love to just borrow a little bit of the European lifestyle, like the way of life, the way like, okay, we have dinner later, we hang out, like all the meals are like a long time. Everyone hangs out, like they don't overwork themselves and stuff. And obviously, look, we've got a GDP to keep up, people. This stock market isn't going to pump itself. But you know what? Like, I feel like they saw that writing on the wall. They're like, like give me a nice espresso, good food, big family, and live the life. Actually live your life instead of just wasting away. Maybe there's a happy medium there, but I feel like maybe maybe they're on the better side of that medium, or on the better side of that spectrum. I don't know. I would love to. I'm very eager to do our Italy trip, Alex, because I think I love it.
It's the greatest place on earth.
Kristen says
Sweden and
Germany. Cool. Yeah. Nice. I mean, all these places, man, I gotta get out of here. In due time, we'll make it out. Rachel Ann, I also had that intention, Kristen. And Rachel says, go to ancestral lands, right? That's what I'm saying. What if that's why I gotta go to Gallner Mountain? That would be so trippy if everyone looked like me there. I mean, it's kind of narcissistic to like want that in a weird way.
We'll see. We also have our ancestry DNA test that my mom bought us that's just been sitting in our cupboard forever. I mean, I've seen my mom and sister's results, but I still think that would be fun. And that's one way of connecting with potential ancestors and family members. So
yeah, that could be quite the adventure. Especially if we have any overlap. Do we have any overlap? Sort of, right? I think on
Germany.
Right. There's that. And then I think also like the DNA test that I did also came back with like it was like ambiguous. It was like Italian or Greek. It was a big percentage.
So Greek, maybe.
So we'll see. Let's see what else we got. Kristen says, let's go. I have people to meet, contacts. Nice.
Absolutely.
Gabby says, I've been and seen the California 21 missions. Nice. And I've been to Hearst Castle 3 times. I don't know that I've ever been to Hearst Castle. That's the one with all the weird doors and stuff, right?
I don't know about weird doors, but I mean it's fascinating, and I love it there. And
the one where there's like doors that go nowhere. Like, isn't there? Am I thinking of something else?
I think I think I know what you're talking about, and that is not the same thing. Yeah, no, Hearst Castle is based on the Citizen Kane guy. I'm blanking on his name. But something Hearst. What's his first name? William
sounds right. I have no idea though.
Sounds right. I'm gonna have to check that out. But yeah, no, it's incredible. And I've always wanted to see the 21 missions. That would be incredible. William Randolph Hearst.
There you
Yes.
go. Nice way to look that up. Right, we have the wealth of knowledge at our fingertips. Like we're 2 seconds away from knowing anything, and,
Yeah.
and we're just like, what is that? I don't know. Next. Thanks for looking
Yeah.
at that. Gabby says, take an Amtrak all the way to San Jose and then to Santa Cruz. Yeah, we've been meaning to check out Santa Cruz. I hear it's kind of a cool town. I wonder if we'd like it, for a living. But we're about to do a nice big Cali road trip here once we finish the housework that we've got to do, because we're trying to find a new place to live. It isn't Los Angeles. Not that Los Angeles is bad. We've had our time.
We're just ready for the next chapter.
Rachel says, what are the California 21 missions? Alex, you want to field this one?
Well, they're Spanish missions, and they're all up and down the coast. I know, like, as a kid in California, when you grow up, like, part of, us learning is all about the California missions. So yeah, they're, very historical in California, says Gabby. Yes.
There's been conversation happening.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I know you've already discussed this, but definitely worth checking out. They're very interesting, and they're historical landmarks, like I said, all up and down the coast, and they're very fascinating to see. So
there's one here. Have you been to the one in LA?
I actually haven't. I've only
It's crazy. It's like in downtown. Like there's like this part of downtown where they've done a really great job of like preserving everything. And yeah, I used to run a photo booth company, and I was doing this big like festival for some Mexican beer company, and I just like was walking around, and I stumbled upon this whole thing. I'm like, this is here. This is insane. I mean, that's the crazy thing, right? We're talking about leaving leaving Los Angeles. Like we've had enough of it, but also like there are stones we have not unturned here for sure. So that's another, I think, an interesting point to bring up, right? We're all talking about going to other places, but like, have you ever tried to be a tourist in your own city? That's always kind of fun to do. I always really liked like the celebrity home tours here in Hollywood and Los Angeles. Those are super fun. Who said they were visiting earlier? Definitely. I mean, if you're gonna do a touristy thing, I think the celebrity homes tour was pretty cool. And yeah, of course. Well, Alex can steer you to all the gluten-free vegan restaurants that she likes in West Hollywood, but yeah. Hey, DM me for the meat eating stuff.
Yes, ask him.
Let's see. Oh, Tomorrow's back. What's up?
Hi, Tomorrow.
Thanks for coming back. And Rachel says, wow, a train on fire. Talk about adventure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, Gabby might be going to Hawaii. Oh, sticking to the keto diet. You know what? You could you could probably pull that off there. They got, lots of like pulled pork and stuff, or yeah, I'm sure you could pull that off. Just, easy on the pineapple, right? Kristen says, I took I'm going to butcher this, Shinkansen bullet train alone from Niusen to I can't say any of the Japanese words. I'm embarrassed. I can pronounce Chinese stuff really well, but yeah, still hard to believe I made it. Always arrives on time. All signs in Japanese. Upstairs, down. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I would have to use. Have you seen on like on your phone now? You can like use your camera and it'll real time translate even foreign text, which is super cool. Like if you just use
that is so necessary in Japan. That's super cool, Kristen. I know when I went to Japan, I was really lucky. I went with a girl who is Japanese, so she was able to translate everything for us. And if it weren't for her, there were like 5 of us traveling. That would have been a little bit of a nightmare. So good for you for being able to do that alone. And I hope you didn't get too lost out there. It's a little overwhelming but I mean with technology nowadays,
it freaks me out, but like I want to get good at that. Like I feel like that's like a really good skill, is to not like freak out or panic when you end up somewhere into a foreign environment. Like I feel like that's a cool
just the thought is scary. But you're right. I mean, it's so nice to be able to do that.
And Rachel says, I'd like to visit the Shinto temples. Yeah, man, there's so much out there in the world. I'm such a homebody. gotta iron that out, Alex. We gotta get out there and live a little.
Okay.
Ceremony places, tea, and so much to see. Reverently, of course. Gabby says, you guys talk about historical last names. Wow, now you make me want to go to Spain. My last name is Spanish. Yeah, Spain would be a cool one too. Man.
I don't think Spain is as open to American tourists right now. I don't know if
no, they're
anyone has
annoyed
seen
with tourists. Remember, we had a friend of a friend who is Spanish, and she was just telling us that they're so over tourism there because they can't even walk around in their own towns anymore, and they like throw stuff at them and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
so
like,
if
all
you're
right.
sitting having a meal and someone throws something at you, just know that that's to be expected, I think.
She, I wonder how bad it is. She was. I feel like she was a little
I think
performative
when
with.
you're in like the bigger cities, it is overrun by tourists, and I can only imagine how frustrating that must be. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Or
if
hopefully we
you
get a
get
guide or
something
something.
thrown at you, that's not totally surprising.
The house is somewhere by the sea. Yeah.
Always.
And yeah, Rachel's saying the sun didn't set until 3:30 a.m. Yeah, it was crazy. But I was already jet lagged. You're already jet lagged, so like, yeah, it's a real disorienting sort of feeling. And then for breakfast, like you're eating like lunch meat and stuff. I mean, granted, I was 15, and this was, like in a hostel. So I don't know that I don't know that my experience was necessarily indicative of the norm. Let's see. All right. Yeah, over tourism be a thing. Cool. All right. Well, folks, we are almost 10 after, so if you've been hanging out with us this whole way, we love and appreciate you. And of course, if you're catching this in a replay, then come hang out with us next time, right? It's a party, and hopefully next time I won't forget to email everybody, because I know that we had a smaller number of people on the on tonight, but you know what, smaller, more intimate, a party's a party. As long as you got a couple people, we're in good shape. So folks, it's been awesome dreaming and wanderlusting with y'all, and I've got a bunch of different ideas, and hopefully we can accumulate enough funds to make some of these dreams a reality. And I hope that for the rest of you as well. And, definitely in any of our channels, whether it's the Facebook group or the YouTube or whatever, feel free to share any of your travel stories and adventures and pictures and stuff like that. I'll try to find my friend's channel to plug it, because you guys got to see the way this dude travels. It is crazy. So anyway, it's been real. If you look on our journal party upcoming sessions here, we've already got the next one planned, and so next week, the 16th, we're going to be here same time. The topic is going to be unlocking your unique gifts. I know we talked about that a little bit in our last session, and the purpose of that one is going to be to journal to see how you're uniquely positioned to give in this world. I think to orient yourself as a giver is a wonderful thing, and I also just personally believe that we are all uniquely suited to serve in our own unique way, and to get in touch with that, I think it can be incredibly fulfilling and help you discover some purpose. So hope you all are looking forward to that, and that'll be coming up next week. And other than that, stay tuned for the upcoming podcast. That's really it. In the background, we've got our Monday sessions going if you're a premium member, so hope to see you on our Monday accountability calls. And I think that's it. Anything you want to add, Alex?
I hope everyone has a great week. I'm also working on a journal party live program, so I made some strides in that today, and hopefully that'll be ready for the end of the month. So that's all, and I just hope everyone takes care and have a wonderful week and weekend.
Awesome. All right, so lots of great stuff planned. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your evening, wonderful rest of your week, and as always,